Hi, hello, and welcome back to another reading vlog. I just finished editing my Miami reading vlog, and hopefully you will be able to watch that. I literally was home for like a day, and now we are back on the road. We are headed to Michigan. We are going to be staying, we're going to be doing like a little family vacation in Caseville. My husband is coming this time, so we're really excited. That also probably means I will get more time to read than I usually do. And I am excited to take you guys along with me. So for this vlog, I actually have like a kind of one main book that is like my theme, because we are going to Lake Huron, and it's in the summer in July. I know, wait for it. We are gonna read Murder Road by Simone St. James, and I have this gorgeous Illumicrate or Evernight, whatever, Evercrate edition with the sprayed edges. Oh my god, it is so pretty, and it looks like some kind of like 90s comic strip, and then the cover is just, oh, look at that, it's so pretty, and it's pink. So I'm very excited about it because this book takes place on Lake Huron in July in the 90s. So this is really exciting for me. My book club was reading this book in June, and I picked it up, I started to read it, and I was like, wait a second. And then I looked at the calendar, I looked at when we were leaving, I looked at where we were going, and I was like, we're not reading this book right now. We're gonna read it when we go to Michigan, because I wanna read it in the place that it's taking place, at the time that it's taking place, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. So Murder Road by Simone St. James is the book that I'm going to be reading. Now, if I finish reading that one and I still have lots of time, because it is like a horror thriller, I don't think it'll take me that long to read. I am also bringing along with me The Idiot by Elif Batuman. This is the book that I brought with me on my Miami reading vlog, but I never got to it because I had two other books that I was reading. This one is a summer ebook because it is about summer vacation, specifically typical summer experiences in college. So I also brought this one along with me, and our theme must be pink because look at this, pink, pink, pink. Well, except for this. So really exciting stuff. My birthday is in July, and when I got home from Miami, my husband actually got me an early birthday present, and he said that he wanted to give it to me so that way I would have it for this road trip. So he bought me a Kobo. Guys, he bought me the Kobo Libra color. Hold on, let me lock it so that way it's not like moving around. It's in color. There is color on my e-reader. There is color on my e-reader. It's so beautiful. And I've already read one full book on it. I know. I got back Wednesday, half of Wednesday. I had another book to finish. Finished that book, started reading on this thing, and I already finished another book. I love it. I love it so much. I don't even have the stylus for it yet. My mom said she's gonna get me that for my birthday, so I don't even have the stylus for it yet, but she said she'll send it to me after we get back from our trip. But I'm already loving being able to highlight in different colors. It makes organizing my annotations in an ebook so much better, like 1,000 times better. So very excited about my Kobo. That is coming with me. Let me see. I'm doing the free trial of Kobo. It's like Kobo Unlimited, but it's not called Kobo Unlimited. Let me see what it's called. Kobo Plus. Kobo Plus is basically Kindle Unlimited, but for Kobo. They do not have as many options as Kindle Unlimited, and all of those like indie authors that are only allowed to publish in Kindle, they're obviously not there. So a couple of things are not in there. It is cheaper, but I'm not sure whether it's worth it because I'm not sure if the books that I want to read are gonna be on there. So it does have some good books, like it does have some really popular books on there. So it's got, oh, it's actually like rearranging Kobo Plus recommendations based off of my book. So anyway, I was just trying to look through it to see if there were any like names that kind of like stood out to me. But I know I saw a couple of like really popular books on there, and they're not popping out to me now because I actually read a book and now it's trying to recommend books based off of that one. So anyway, there were some popular books in Kobo Plus, but not that many. And I don't recognize any of the other authors, which isn't a bad thing. I downloaded a few books. There are a lot of classics on there. So I downloaded a couple of classics, and I actually bought a couple of books that were on sale. So let's see, my books. So I'm going to be starting with Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. It sounded like it was actually really interesting, and I think it's like a modern classic, so looking forward to that one. I've also got on here The Library at Mount Char, which I saw Carrie Kin Reed's read it, and she was recommending it. Heartless Hunter, which I've seen quite a few people actually really enjoyed it. I went ahead and I got Leviathan Wakes, the first of the, what is that show called? Expanse series, by James A. Corey. I have the physical copy of that book, but it is huge, and I have been in kind of a sci-fi mood, so I went ahead and I bought it. It was like $1, so I went ahead and I purchased it to see, because I'm only going to read that first book to see whether I want to read the rest of them. Okay, I also got Earth. Did I get that on Kindle Unlimited? Or not Kindle? I have to like reassess all of my things. I must have bought it, or yeah. So we've got Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. I've seen this one talked about. It is also a kind of sci-fi or literary fiction of some sort. It's really cute. There's like a hedgehog on the cover. The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. And Mieko Kawakami's Breasts and Eggs, and Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. So I've got a couple of books on here to tide me over for this road trip. And I'm going to be trying out the Kobo Plus to see whether it's worth the $7.99. If it is, then I'll continue it. If it's not, I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. But yeah, I'm really excited to be reading a book that takes place in Michigan in July. I've got my backup book, and then I've got my Kobo. So very excited about getting to take this on its inaugural road trip. So those are the books I'm bringing with me. I'm excited to bring you along, and I will update you once we are on the road. Alrighty, we made it to Michigan. We stopped in Ohio for a night, and then we had so we split the trip up into 2 days basically, and we made it. If I look exhausted, it's because I am. I don't know, I wasn't doing anything, but for whatever reason, traveling in the car makes me exhausted. Actually, just travel in general makes me exhausted. I love getting to where I'm going, but the actual process of it, I like being where I'm going to be at, if that makes sense. So anyway, I started reading in the car Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon, and I am 13% into it. This is what I was reading in the car and at the hotel. It is a Bram Stoker Award winner. It was a Great American Read, and I started reading this, and I was like, man, this writing style just feels so familiar. I was like, you know what? It reminds me of Stephen King. And so I did a quick little Google search, and sure enough, this author is quite often compared to Stephen King, and this book specifically is compared sometimes above The Stand by Stephen King, which I have not read yet, but it is on my list of books to read, clearly, because I am a huge Stephen King fan. So I'm really excited to read this because I love that writing style. It's kind of doing like the whole, like every chapter, a different character, large cast. This one is about, so far from what I can understand, it's like it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world in which World War III takes place. Right now, that's what's going on, is World War III, and there's several characters, and there also seems to be some like supernatural things. Like there's like I'm gonna assume he's a demon, and because he has like no face, like it changes, I don't know, and he's been around for like ever. And then there's this little girl who seems to have premonitions or is able to like talk with plants and bugs and stuff. It's very strange, but so far it's very enjoyable. Now that we are here in the Lake Huron area, I am going to be picking up Murder Road by Simone St. James, because this was the Evernight book from, I don't remember which month, so don't quote me on it, but I think it was the April one, maybe. I don't remember. So either way, this book actually takes place in Lake Huron in July. So I'm going to start this July 1st. And it is about April and Eddie are on their honeymoon, if I'm not mistaken. And they take like this dark road late at night, and they see this woman up ahead who's in trouble. They stop and pick her up. And once she's in the car, they see that she's got blood all over her. And yeah, so it's just like they pick up this hitchhiker and all is not as it seems. So, but to get out of town, April and Eddie are going to have to drive down that haunted stretch of road one more time. So, haunted road story. All about it. If there's some supernaturalness in this, I will be very happy. But yeah, that is what I am reading starting July 1st. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep trucking my way through Swan Song, because just like The Stand, this book is a behemoth. I think it's like 956 pages in the paperback copy. It says, so I'm 13% of the way through, and there are still 19 hours of reading to go in this book. So I am really enjoying reading on my Kobo. First of all, look how beautiful. It has colors. Can you see that beautiful green? Oh, it makes me so happy. But also what's really nice is being able to highlight in different colors, because I can actually find because I have like a color-coded system for my highlighting, for my tabbing when I'm annotating. So basically I'm just doing that for my highlighting now. And yeah, it's working out really well for me to be able to actually organize my annotations in an ebook format. And I think that's all the update that I have for you. I'm looking forward to keep on reading, and I will keep you updated as I go along and take you along on our vacation in the Lake Huron Thumb area of Michigan. Good morning. It is July 1st, and I have officially started Murder Road by Simone St. James. I am 50 pages in, and I am enjoying it so far. I remember the other book that I read by her, I really enjoyed up until the 75% mark, and I realized there were going to be some plot holes and some decisions were made. So we'll see how this one goes, but I do really love her writing style. So far we've got April and Eddie. They are on their honeymoon. They're driving to this resort on Lake Michigan. They take a wrong turn and they end up on this dark stretch of road, and there's this girl on the side of the road. They pick her up. She seems like she's in trouble, so they pick her up, and when she gets in the car, they realize she is bleeding profusely. So they rush her to the nearest town hospital, and they drop her off there. The police show up like 5 seconds later, and she dies. So they are the prime suspects in her murder. So they are kind of detained in this little teeny tiny town called Cold Lake Falls. And yeah, now they're just kind of like questioning them and having them go through what happened with the night. But over the night, like Eddie and April are talking in bed. The police officers set them up at like this hotel while they're going to be questioning them because they don't want them to leave. And they're talking in bed, and we get some background, or not really background, we get a mystery into their background. So Eddie is like he was in Iraq, he was a soldier, and he's got PTSD, he suffers from hallucinations, so he is not a reliable character. And this is all narrated from April's perspective. And now she has an interesting background. Something happened to her when she was young with her mother, something awful. And for some reason, this has made her able to process this issue with the girl and the murder very well. We don't get any details about it, but I'm really interested to see where this story is going. I'm going to keep on reading, hopefully make it at least 100 pages in today. Since we're on vacation, I think I'll be able to do that. And yeah, really enjoying the vibe so far, and I think it's going to be a fun summer beach horror read. Hopefully it's a little horror-y and supernaturally and not just thriller, although I'd be cool with a slasher too. That could be a lot of fun. Good morning. It is July 4th. We are in Caseville over on Lake Huron, and I have been reading Murder Road, and I'm about 200 pages in, a little bit over 200 pages in, so it's a little bit over halfway through the book, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Yesterday I actually took it to the beach to read. My mother-in-law came, and she was playing with my son at the playground there, so I got a chance to read like a chapter. But yeah, my reading's been a little slow. I woke up this morning and I managed to read a good decent amount, and I think I know what's going on. There's like this mystery about who the first murdered girl was, and I have a feeling I know who she is and why these two seemingly random people are involved in solving her murder. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on reading. Maybe later today I will find out more and I will keep you guys updated. right, we are back from Caseville, and I finished Murder Road today, just now. I really, really enjoyed this one. I was a little apprehensive because the one Simone St. James novel that I had read before, Sundown Motel, uh, I hadn't loved it. I mean, I liked it up until like the last quarter, and I found that there were a lot of plot holes and that parts of it just didn't make sense to me, and there was like this ghostly element that they didn't take anywhere, and in this book that did not happen. It was ghostly, it was spooky, it was fun. The mystery was all wrapped up. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I saw any plot holes. I wasn't trying too hard to see them, but I really enjoyed it. It was a 4-star read for me. Definitely, I'm happy that I have the book, and I'm glad that I read it, and I'm especially glad that I read it while we were on Lake Huron in July, because it was just all the vibes. So next up on our trip, I'm going to continue reading Swan Song by Robert McCammon, but I'm also going to start reading The Idiot by Elif Batuman. I probably won't finish this one in the vlog just because it is a, let's see, oh my god, where's the end of this book? Here we go. 423 page book. And I just don't see myself being able to finish that in the next, 3 days? Highly doubt it. So anyway, I am going to start this. This one follows, it is also a 1990s book. So this is in 1995. And we're following Selin, who is the daughter of some Turkish immigrants, and she is going through her freshman year at Harvard, and then the summer break comes, and all of her friends go do regular summer break things, and her summer doesn't resonate with anything that she's heard of when it comes to the typical experiences of college students. So she's grappling with that, and it's supposed to be a superlative emotional sensitivity and mordant wit. She dramatizes the uncertainty of life on the cusp of adulthood, is a heroic yet a self-effacing reckoning with the terror and joy of becoming a person in a world that is as intoxicating as it is disquieting. So it takes place in the summer and in 1995, so it's going to be a fun read. I'm really excited, and it was a Pulitzer Prize finalist, so I'm assuming that it has to be some kind of good, right? Stay tuned. I am probably going to be doing some research into all of these different book awards, what they mean, and whether I think those books are right for me, because I'm really curious. So we're going to start with The Idiot by Elif Batuman, and I will let you know how it goes. Welcome to the end of the vlog. I apparently really suck at vlogging because I just completely, I lost my phone several times, but besides that, I just completely forgot to vlog. So we are home in South Carolina again. Our trip to Michigan was a huge success. We had a lot of fun, and we can't wait to go back, see family, and just how beautiful that area is. So if you haven't been to the Lake Huron Thumb area of Michigan, I definitely recommend visiting. It is beautiful, 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 and just so peaceful. So always love our time there, and of course we love visiting our family there. So on this trip, I started reading, before we get to that one, I started reading, what is it called? Swan Song by Robert McCammon, and I am about 35% into it, totally enjoying it. It is a long book though. It is like 895 pages or something close to that. So I definitely wasn't going to finish it in this vlog. I plan on reading it slowly throughout the weeks and finishing it hopefully by the end of July. But Swan Song is great. It is a post-apocalyptic story about, it's actually lots of very Stephen King-esque, lots of different characters all converging together, but there does seem to be this one connection to this young girl who seems to have these magical abilities or something, and I don't know how that's gonna come into play, but everybody seems to be converging around her. So, and her name is Swan, so, or Sue Wanda, whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. It's about a post-apocalyptic world where World War III basically started, and America has been bombed, and it is a nuclear wasteland now. So very fun, very dark, very, very dark, but very fun. And then I started, on July 1st, I started Murder Road by Simone St. Can you see it? Okay. Murder Road by Simone St. James, and I absolutely loved this. This I liked from beginning to end. It follows April and Eddie, who are on their honeymoon in the 90s on Lake Huron. And somewhere along the way, they take a wrong turn and they end up on this road. And there's this girl walking along it, hitchhiking, and they pick her up. And it turns out she's covered in blood. So they're rushing her to the hospital. They have no idea where they're at. They turn off on this teeny tiny town, and this truck is chasing them down this road. Finally, they turn off, the truck leaves them alone. But this girl is like, oh, he's coming for me or whatever. I don't know, something like that. Takes her to the hospital. She dies. Now, April and Eddie are the murder suspects for this girl. And it turns out that several people have been killed on this highway, several hitchhikers, and they are the prime suspects. So they set out to kind of figure out what's going on, and it is kind of a ghost story. So everything is interconnected. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. It was the perfect vibe for this trip because it took place on Lake Huron, which is where we were staying. We were in Caseville. This is in some made-up town called Cold Lake Falls on Hunter Beach. But it's just like basically Caseville or maybe Port Austin. I don't know. Somewhere similar to that, though. Similar vibes. And it took place in July, right around 4th of July. This was the perfect read for this. So very happy I read Murder Road by Simone St. James. I am going to give that one probably, if it's maybe 4 stars, maybe 4.5. It might be 4.5 now that I'm thinking about it, because I keep thinking about this book. It wasn't a 5-star read, but it was definitely close. So I'm going to go with 4.5 stars. Next up, I started reading The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Now, this book is like 400 something pages. Yeah, I am a little less than halfway through with it. I am enjoying my time reading it, but I also kind of feel like maybe I'm the idiot because I don't completely know what's going on. And I don't know, that might be intentional. Yeah, in fact, I think it is, which is why I want to keep on reading just to kind of see where it goes. But there's a lot of parts where I feel like, kind of like I don't know what is going on. Now, to give you some background, Selin is the daughter of Turkish immigrants, and she is in her freshman year at Harvard. So she signs up for a subject she's never heard of, befriends her Serbian classmate. She begins corresponding with an older mathematics student via email, which is very new because this is 1995. So right now where I'm at is really just, it's been the fall and the spring semester. I'm towards the end of the spring semester where she's going to be taking her summer trip. And I am not completely sure what's going on with her and Ivan, the mathematics student. Their relationship is very confusing to me, but I think that's on purpose because I think it's confusing for Selin too. Like, she doesn't understand what's going on. And then also, like, it's very pretentious in a way, but that makes sense because it's Harvard freshman students who just live in a world of pretension. Let's be real. Like, I love it. I was not a Harvard student. I was a college student at one point, and I lived off of pretension as well. So I get it. There's a lot of like really funny, like, just, are they maxims? I don't know if I would say they were maxims, but just little funny anecdotes of her time in school and things that happened to her. her freshman year that are just very relatable if you've been to university, and also just like absolutely ridiculous. And you look back on it and you remember these things happening or these things being said around you, and you know that it's absolutely ridiculous, but it's taking place in here. So in that way, it's very funny, but also it's very random. So it's hard to know what exactly is going on in this book. I am not even halfway through though. I am going to keep on reading it and hopefully finish it this month in July. I also started Lula Dean's, I got it as a library hold. I never even mentioned it in the vlog, but like probably Friday or Saturday, I got a library hold come in for Libby, and that was Lula Dean's Library of Banned Books by, I can't remember the author. I will insert it here. But yeah, so far it's fantastic. I'm not very far through. I think I'm about like 37% of the way in, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I will probably be recommending it. So check back in my July recap because it will be there. And yeah, it's basically about this woman who sets up this like little free library because she's been like behind the banning of books in this small town named Troy in Georgia. And this young girl switches out all of the like floofy, nasty, awful books that she puts in her little free library, and she switches them out with banned books instead, and she leaves the old covers on so that way Lula doesn't know. And these people keep picking up books at her little free library, and they're these banned books, and it's just enlightening, all of them. And it's just a great story about how literature really does change our world view, and it's just so good so far. Like, I'm only 36% in, and I know it's going to be a favorite of the year. So Lula Dean's little free library of banned books or something like that. Title here, picture here. It's great. I will also be finishing that one. So hopefully The Idiot and Lula Dean and Swan Song I'll be finishing later this month. And the big winner of this vlog was Murder Road for sure. Like, I am just thrilled with that book. So we are back home. I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you so much for coming on my vacation with me and reading books with me. If you have read any of these books and have comments about them, please leave them in the comments below. And if you got this far and you just want to say hi or let me know that you were here, go ahead and let's leave a emoji of a car for Murder Road. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!